Today, we're going to talk about a human creation so unbelievably massive that it literally changed the way our planet spins. It's a story about taming a titan, about mind-blowing ingenuity, and about a human and environmental cost that honestly, we're still trying to figure out. This is the story of the Three Gorges Dam.
So just imagine this for a second. A single structure, built by human hands, with enough mass to actually slow down the rotation of the entire Earth. It sounds like science fiction, right? But it's real. When the Three Gorges Dam's massive reservoir filled up with 42 billion tons of water, it physically slowed our day by 0.06 microseconds. It's tiny, but it's not zero.
So how is that even possible? Well, it all comes down to a physics principle called the moment of inertia. You know how an ice skater spins? When she pulls her arms in, she spins way faster. When she stretches them out, she slows down. The dam basically did the same thing to the Earth. By lifting a colossal amount of water 175 meters above sea level, it pushed all that weight farther from the Earth's center, just like the skater extending her arms. And that slowed our planet's rotation, ever so slightly. To really understand this feat, you have to understand the wild, destructive force of nature it was built to control. So let's get into it.
Okay, so why? Why would anyone go to such incredible lengths? To get the why behind the Three Gorges Dam, you first have to understand the river it was built on, the mighty and often deadly Yangtze River.
For thousands of years, the Yangtze River was basically the lifeblood of China. It carved out these super fertile valleys. It nourished entire civilizations. But it was also a monster. Its floods were the stuff of nightmares, wiping out entire communities. In 1954 alone, a single flood killed over 30,000 people. So for China, controlling this river wasn't just a nice idea, it was a matter of sheer survival. And get this, the dream of taming the Yangtze is not new, far from it. This was a century-long ambition, kicking off with the founder of modern China, Sun Yat-sen, way back in 1919. Even an American engineer in the 40s looked at the spot and called it his dream dam. But it wasn't until the 1990s that China finally had the technology, the resources, and the political will to make this incredible dream a reality.
So with a century of ambition fueling the fire, how did they actually pull it off? I mean, how do you even begin to build something strong enough to hold back the third largest river in the entire world?
Just look at this thing. It's a masterpiece of engineering. You've got the immense main wall, two powerhouses just packed with turbines, and then this incredible 5-step ship lock. It's literally a staircase for ships. A huge vessel sails into a chamber. These powerful pumps change the water level, and the ship is lifted or lowered to the next chamber, step by step. It's a true water elevator, lifting ships over a structure as tall as a 60-story building. Building this behemoth was kind of like a 3-act play. Act 1, they had to literally move the Yangtze River. They dug a whole new channel to divert its massive flow so they could build on the dry riverbed. Act 2, they poured a mountain of concrete. And for the finale, they installed the giant heart of the dam, the turbines that would actually harness the river's awesome power.
Now, pouring that much concrete created a massive problem that you probably wouldn't think of. It's called hydration heat. As concrete sets, it gets hot, really hot. On this scale, the inside of the dam could have become a giant oven, hot enough to cause cracks that would threaten the whole structure. So what was the solution? Genius, really. They embedded a whole network of pipes throughout the dam, pumping chilled water through it all to cool the concrete from the inside out as it hardened. Okay, let's just pause and try to wrap our heads around the numbers for a second. The dam contains 28 million cubic meters of concrete. That is enough concrete to build a wall 2 meters high that could circle the entire equator of the Earth. It is just a staggering, mind-boggling amount of material. And holding all of that concrete together, a skeleton of 400,000 tons of steel. They weren't just building a dam here. They were building an artificial mountain, engineered from the ground up to stand for centuries. So, all this incredible effort, moving a river, pouring mountains of concrete and steel, it was all building towards one main goal, harnessing the raw, immense power of the Yangtze.
At the very heart of the dam are these 32 massive turbines. And when I say massive, I mean it. Each one weighs 6,000 tons. That's more than the entire iron structure of the Eiffel Tower, each. These things are engineering marvels, designed to spin under unimaginable pressure and turn the raw force of the water into clean electricity. And when you add them all up, they give the dam a total generating capacity of 22,500 megawatts. That officially makes the Three Gorges Dam the single most powerful hydroelectric plant on the face of the Earth, period.
So what does all that power actually mean in the real world? It means about 100 terawatt hours of clean energy every single year. That's enough to prevent nearly 100 million tons of carbon dioxide from being pumped into our atmosphere annually. From a purely clean energy perspective, it's a monumental achievement.
But, and this is a huge but, that clean energy, that flood control, it all came at an absolutely staggering cost. A cost that wasn't paid in money, but in displaced lives and permanent scars on the environment.
To create the dam's massive reservoir, an area the size of Singapore was flooded. 1.4 million people were forced to leave their homes, their histories, their entire way of life. Entire cities, some of them over 1,000 years old, just disappeared beneath the rising water. It's one of the largest and most controversial forced migrations in modern history.
And the environmental cost, wow, it has been nothing short of catastrophic. The dam is widely blamed for the extinction of the baiji, the Yangtze River dolphin, a species that had been in that river for 20 million years. It's also starved the downstream ecosystem of vital silt, it's changed local weather patterns, and the now slow-moving reservoir has become a massive sink for all kinds of pollution.
And look, this isn't just critics on the outside saying this. Years after the dam was finished, Chinese officials themselves came out and admitted to the urgent problems the project had caused. They acknowledged the very environmental catastrophe that people had been warning about for years.
You'd think the story ends there, right? But it doesn't. The incredibly complicated legacy of the Three Gorges Dam is now casting a long shadow over an even more ambitious and potentially more dangerous megaproject.
China is now looking to the Yarlung-Champo River in the Himalayas, and if you thought the Three Gorges was big, well, this new super dam is on a whole other level. It's being designed to generate 60,000 megawatts of power. That is nearly 3 times the output of the Three Gorges. So this all leads to the big question, right? As China embarks on this even bigger gamble, have the lessons from the Three Gorges actually been learned? Is it even possible to get the benefits of these megaprojects without repeating the same devastating human and environmental costs?
And when you look at this beautiful, pristine valley, which lies right in the path of this new super dam, you're really confronted with the central dilemma of our time. We desperately need clean energy to power our future. There's no doubt about it. But what price are we willing to pay? How do we balance our need for progress with our responsibility to protect the planet and its people? The story of the Three Gorges Dam doesn't give us any easy answers, but it sure forces us to ask the right questions.